So I watched this game already, right? And what happens is they have zone reveal perk. And essentially they wait till second zone pops here. Now they're going to go center third, which is obviously a guaranteed fourth zone. And then they rotate to half and yeah. So boom, they have zone reveal perk right now. And now he just hooks at the center third. And I know they build a base up here. And then he tries to refarm. Okay, what I would have done here to speed things up so much more. Go up here, build a singular brick box, cone that off, and then drop like half your brick or more. Just drop as much brick as you want, maybe all of it, and then just run down here, farm all that up, have your teammate watching from the base because he's already capped mats, he doesn't need mats, and then have him covering you here, looking around, people coming behind you, and then you just keep farming till you get max brick or as much as possible, then come back, pick up the spare brick, and boom, you'll both max everything with a base in the center for guaranteed full zone pull. Because what they do instead here is he takes his time building up a big brick base. He gives all the people here time to rotate in before he refarms, which ends up making like it's really hard for him to refarm, and then he doesn't have max all stuff when he leaves. Because instead he goes over here and just gets this brick, which isn't enough clearly. And then now that they're taking so long, they've let people rotate in to the point where it's going to be hard to get the mats back. Yeah, that's actually a really small thing, but that definitely would have made a big difference. Like, if you have zone reveal and you want to go center third, what you should do is get to center third, build a small base, so you can, as quickly as possible, get the spare mats into your base and then build the base from safety. And also, like, there's just not much metal on the map, so if you don't have max metal, you need to be making sure your wood and brick are, like, perfect. So obviously, they have zone reveal for half here, so they build up, fly over. Do invest quite a bit of mats there, but I think that's worth it, since obviously they know of half and they know that they're going to be rotating first moving with this, so they're probably going to need to be high up anyway. It's probably worth it, even though that's a massive investment. So now I'd say like this mat's like usually in like last chapter and stuff, it would be pretty bad mats to be starting first moving with, but I guess in this chapter with no metal, it's decent. Now first moving is when it all goes wrong in my opinion. So they've set themselves up decently for in-game. So now, I know their plan is to, so he has a hammer, his teammate doesn't have a hammer, so he's going to hit his teammate to zone, and then he's going to hammer over. But when you do this, you need to do it like earlier than they did, like you need to do it way earlier than usual. Because obviously, you need to like set it up, have your teammate cooperating, and then hit them at a right angle, and then have time for you to go without any of you getting damaged. So they wait to the very last second of zone coming in, so he's pulling out the hammer now, and they only have like 1 second to muck up, and Hyde's already pressuring them, so that's that done. So because of them waiting so long and now Hyde pressuring them and don't have any time window to let go and not muck up from, they just have to send it like while they're getting pressured, which gives them a decently bad angle. So it goes that way instead of like straight forward. And now obviously they both take damage as well. Like what I would like for them to do is obviously maybe go at like 5 seconds zone closing, so they have time to set up a perfect angle, and then they might have been able to actually land up here. And then what I would have liked them to do is from there just like build up one box and then wait for zone to get ahead, and a couple people build up here, and then you'll just do the same thing, hammer really early, make sure you have time to mark up and get a perfect angle, and then you just like land up here and then get up really high. And they should have known as well, like they should have marked at the start, they probably did, but making sure they know how high zone's going to go up, because I feel like if they knew where zone was here, they'd have a way higher priority of getting up. Because what his teammate does here, like he could have recovered it from here, he could have landed here and then cranked up, but he keeps flying all the way down here, and this is what kills him, this landing spot, to be honest. So like in the ideal situation, they'd be above this guy here right now, but in the less ideal situation that they're in now, they're all the way down here, and as you know, they're on bad mats, so this is just a recipe for disaster. And again, they wait so long to go up, and now since they put themselves in this position, they just have to use all their mats to get up the hill so they don't die. And then boom, 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 they do eventually get together. But now look, he has 1 build and his teammate has 10 builds, and now basically they just have to keep fighting and running around for no mats until one of them dies and the other dies because he's a solo. So yeah, basically from that game, just remember how I was talking about like how to prioritize and make sure you're completely max wood and max brick, because in this season you get no middle, so you gotta make sure that you have max wood and max brick. The main problem was the first moving, how they left it so long to hammer forward and get high position, and they needed to recognize how like high of a priority like the elevation change was. The ideal situation, like I said, would have been to hammer like 5 seconds before closing, land really high up, wait for people to build ahead like high up in the hill, and then hammer again, and then they would have saved like heaps of mass, way more mass than they did like landing super low down and having to crank all the way up.